So 2 more games in this afternoon session. Barrett and Williams representing Team Europe. Team Europe with Williams, whose nickname is Beef Stew, and they're wearing Beef Stew t-shirts in the crowd here in Manchester. They're up against Malott and Troup for Team USA. Who will win this next game? Back over to your commentators, Cass Edwards and Wayne Boyce.
So Cass, how much all that defeat for Parker Bone III have really affected the American morale? Because it could so easily have been 8-4, and now once again they're looking at a 6-point deficit.
It's the unique bowling system of the world system that we're using. Allowed Martin to snap up victory in the last couple of frames there. And yeah, devastating for Parker and the USA boys. They're now 9-3 adrift. And that is some huge gap to try and get back.
Malott and Troup both involved in the 2 points that the USA have gained this afternoon. There's the beef stew t-shirts that Tony was talking about, and one there for Lucky Larson as well.
Very popular lads.
Well, every match now brings its own pressure for the United States. It's very difficult to play catch up, absolutely no margin for error, with a 6-point advantage now. Remember, Barrett lost in the previous doubles against Troup and Bone III. And Malott will now see out this session for the USA. He's playing here and then is up in the singles against Dom Barrett in the final match of this afternoon session, which hasn't been too bad for the USA. They've bowled well, and yet they're still 3-2 behind in the session.
It's just the way it goes, unfortunately. Europe looking here to be the first to get to double figures, and I'm sure they will be, whether it be this game or later.
The victory here in the doubles for the Europeans, and they will be halfway towards that historic 4th successive Weber Cup win, something that has never been done before. The USA haven't won the Weber Cup since winning for the 8th time way back in 2012 now, with a record 17-7 win. So convincing was the manner of that victory, Cass, 4 years ago. They could never have imagined that they wouldn't win it for the next 3.
Absolutely, yeah. They are looking for the 4th victory in a row, as you say. Freshly dressed lane, 45 feet of oil. Scotch doubles. Dom Barrett kicking off.
Lovely shot from Dom Barrett.
30 pins in the pit. 10-pin strike is worth 30 under the world bowling scoring system that we're using. Straight down the lane, straight to the 1-3 pocket, and carries 10. Great looking shot from Dom.
Well, he may have lost in that doubles with Larson, but his bowling has been absolutely top draw so far this weekend. The European captain. And where's Malott respond? Yes, he can. Rather a casual manner the way he bowls, isn't it?
Well, maybe he was just expecting a strike. As I say, it's freshly dressed lane, 45 feet of oil, 3 times as much oil in the centre of the lane as there is on the outside. Almost turns his back on that shot. Order changes, and Stu Williams comes up for the European side. 70% strike rate. He's been having a great tournament so far. Average score of 250.
Yeah, 14 strikes, 256 average score for Stu Williams. And he rings the 10-pin.
I would hazard to say that Stuart and Dom as a doubles pair and as individuals are the greatest 2 bowlers that have ever been produced and come out of England or the UK. Both players having won tournaments on the PBA Tour in the United States and international events around the world.
Never in doubt the spare for the European captain.
9 spare is worth 19 pins. I think Dom's just gone off to get another ball.
Now, Troup certainly bowled well with Bone III in that doubles victory against Barrett and Larson. Troup not involved in any singles at all in the afternoon session.
No, he's had a 250 and a 240 in previous singles matches, and unfortunately lost them both. That's how tough it's been, and how high scoring it's been.
Well, the lucky trousers have made a difference so far, picking up that point in the doubles.
No, what's he done? He's either picks up the wrong ball, something's just amiss. He's going to wipe his hands, start again.
Well, he's gone back to the same ball. He just maybe sweaty hands, maybe.
Maybe he put his thumb in the ball, which is unusual for him. I'm only joking. The two-hander puts 2 fingers in the ball, no thumb. Touches his left hip with his left hand to keep it dry. Wraps the fingers around the ball, and we're ready to go.
Double here. And gets it. It's a great shot from Troup.
It was worth waiting for, wasn't it? And Wes will be very pleased. 2 strikes in a row for the American side. Snaps that hand around the ball, puts the rotation on it, gets it down to the break line at about 45 feet, and it just turns up.
So Stu Williams, 11 points. There's the difference so far after 2 frames. Showing an in-joke there, the 2 Americans, I think. Spirit still very much there for the US despite this big deficit. Temping run from Stu Williams. And a chance for the US in this 3rd frame perhaps to increase the lead further.
Yeah, Stewart looked a bit disgusted with himself there for leaving that pin. Wasn't a bad shot, made the pocket nicely. Unfortunately, the 6 jumps right round the 10 and leaves a spare for Don Barrett. You can see the oil on Dominic Barrett's ball there on the ball track. It picks it up as it goes down the lane. So this shows you how much oil there is actually down there, although you can't see it.
Yeah, spare taken by Barrett, but more ground will be lost here. If Malott can strike out. Looking for 3 in a row, the American pair.
Oh no.
Oh no, he says, and that's why.
Yeah, it sailed on, didn't make the head pin properly. It just leaves the 2-10 split. He's very fortunate to get that 8 pin out, because that would have been impossible. The 8 pin's gone. This is a makeable spare, but it's going to have to be the right-handed 2-hander that shoots at it. He's going to chip this 2-pin left-hand side as light as he possibly can.
Very difficult task here for Troup.
Certainly, he's got to bounce it across. It's got to be very, very accurate.
He's missed them completely, and it is an open frame. And just to remind you, if you wish to continue watching this fabulous action from the Weber Cup, it is time to press the red button as we go interactive on Weber Cup 2016. Stu Williams then could do with a strike here for Europe. And gets it! Great shot.